Et avant de commencer, j'avais une demande à vous faire. Ils vont s'exprimer en langue anglaise. On m'a dit que tout le monde n'avait pas eu encore une maîtrise parfaite de la langue anglaise, que c'était en cours. Est-ce le cas vraiment? Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui... L'anglais est encore une... Il y a le derija, il y a le français, il y a l'anglais. La maîtrise de l'anglais, est-ce que tout le monde a un confort absolu ou approximatif? Okay. Alors pour certains personnels étudiants, peut-être à l'occasion, on prendra 2 minutes pour faire un petit résumé en langue française. Les questions, on n'accepte que 100 questions compte tenu des limites de temps. Donc les 100 premières questions peuvent être adressées en derija. En langue française, je me fais tenter de traduire correctement ou directement en langue anglaise. Donc vous vous sentez à l'aise. L'état d'esprit. L'état d'esprit auquel je vous invite durant ce masterclass, littéralement, il y a 3 personnes qui ont le privilège d'avoir accès à vous voir, à vous écouter. Je voudrais que chacun d'entre nous ait l'impression que c'est lui qui parle, ou elle. J'aimerais, au terme des présentations formelles, lorsque nous échangerons, vous n'êtes pas un auditoire, nous sommes un groupe qui se réunissons autour d'une thématique fondamentale aujourd'hui, développement durable, qui est une conséquence ou une prévention pour assurer la stabilité non seulement économique de certains pays, de certaines régions, mais aussi sa croissance économique. La question a été posée un peu plus tôt, est-ce qu'on peut s'enrichir quand on fait de la responsabilité sociale? Moi, je peux en témoigner modestement. Dans mon cas, la réponse est oui. Et l'ayant pratiqué un héritage familial, aujourd'hui l'héritage familial, c'est 4500 surfaces de magasins en Amérique qui pratiquaient ça depuis nous. On nous emmerdait à la maison de mes parents avec ça. La petite entreprise que j'ai fondée avec quelques collègues il y a quelques années maintenant, qui emploie plus de 100 000 personnes aujourd'hui, non seulement pratique-t-elle depuis le jour 1, aujourd'hui dans 78 pays, nous implantons ces pratiques-là. Il s'agit du groupe, ça peut intéresser certains d'entre vous, le groupe CGI, basé à Montréal toujours, mais je pense qu'ici on a 1000 employés, me dit-on. Quand je pense à RSE, et la question m'avait été posée par les étudiants que j'ai à l'université McGill depuis certaines années, est-ce que ça veut dire la responsabilité scientifique des enseignants? Ah ben, je me suis dit, oui, c'est pas bête. Est-ce que ça veut dire la responsabilité aussi sociale des étudiants? Alors, entre RSE, dont on parle, la responsabilité scientifique des enseignants, responsabilité sociale des apprenants, il y a un amalgame, et puis on le verra ici. Le thème d'aujourd'hui m'est particulièrement cher, ayant l'occasion, depuis quelques années, d'avoir, je ne sais pas trop comment le dire, statut d'ambassadeur de bonne volonté, ça veut dire que je ne touche pas de salaire, qui est reversé sous forme de bourse à une centaine d'étudiants dans le sous-continent, 54 pays, l'Union africaine. Et en échange, on me demande régulièrement des avis comme conseiller stratégique à la présidence du Fonds vert mondial, dont le président, un ancien étudiant, bonheur d'être son mentor encore aujourd'hui. On s'est assuré entre le siège social à Séoul que le siège social du continent africain soit déménagé du Caire à Rabat. Donc ça, c'est une façon de justifier mes fréquents voyages ici. Et l'hospitalité pour laquelle je remercie mes amis de l'ISCAE, le professeur Malki, M. Issami, M. Bami, Alors je pense qu'on se doit de les souligner. La qualité des efforts et le discernement pour approcher et suggérer des thèmes comme celui qui nous réunit aujourd'hui. Mon rôle sera celui de modérateur et ma requête, puisqu'on est un atelier, on est ensemble. Vous n'êtes pas là, on n'est pas là, on est ensemble. Parce qu'il ne restait pas de place, et puis asseoir nos conférenciers en haut, ça manquait de délicatesse. Au terme de leur présentation, je veux que chacun d'entre nous retienne 3 idées maîtresses de l'un et de l'autre. Ça en fait 6. Peut-être qu'elles se recouperont, forcément, le thème est assez commun. Et j'aimerais que, pour garder une image, un peu comme au cinéma, cette scène-là m'a plu plus que l'autre. Des thèmes qui, nous touchent principalement. Les questions, plutôt que d'aller dans toutes les directions, je suggère modestement qu'elles tournent autour de ces thèmes ou de ces idées clés que vous aurez retenues pour rendre notre échange le plus efficace possible. J'ai déjà trop parlé, je vous remercie de votre indulgence. Je vais maintenant inviter mon ami et ma collègue, qui incidemment, j'ai découvert hier que nous sommes 2 Canadiens. Donc le risque de la maison, c'est d'inviter 2 Canadiens aujourd'hui. Notre amie, madame, are you Canadian since when?
Since 2020.
Oh, une immigrante de souche, comme on dit chez nous, donc elle est canadienne depuis 2020. Alors notre ami le deviendra sans doute lui aussi. I shall welcome you, Rahaj. Les candidates will give a brief description of who they are. Not the 10-minute CV, but just what am I doing? Why am I interested in today's topic? And how do I see the future of issues that I've been searching on and proposing to this learned audience? Merci. Alors, je vous en prie, please. Ils auront des supports visuels, pas comme béquilles, mais comme source d'inspiration. Okay.
Good morning. Bonjour. I'm Dr. Rahaf Hajaj, Associate Professor of Environment, Health and Safety from the College of Engineering at Abu Dhabi University. First of all, thank you very much for the nice introduction. And I would like to thank everyone who organized this wonderful event. And it's really a great pleasure to be with you here today. And it's my first time here in Morocco, in Casablanca, and not the last time, I'm sure. So thank you very much for this, and thank you for coming and for being here with us today. So what brings me to this conference, I would like to thank Dr. Khaled for this opportunity. So from my background, I'm specialized in environmental health. But maybe the question that maybe come to your mind, okay, how does this relate to the economy? How does this relate to money? Now, I will start by something that maybe everyone can know about it, which are the SDGs. I'm sure that you heard about the Sustainable Development Goals, the United Nations, SDGs, the 17th SDGs, and you see that everyone now is looking after them and speeding the time in order to reach or address them. So I will do my best today to provide you a brief about where we are standing right now in regards to the SDGs, and maybe share with you my humble thoughts about those SDGs. Maybe we are not doing our best, and as per the United Nations head, they said that we are in emergency development, which is really very harsh statement. We are almost 10 years since we started this, We only have 5 more years, and I will share with you data where we are currently right now standing. So there are things that we need to do in order to speed up things, and this is much related to the economy, by the way. Okay, so where are we standing right now? 10 years already passed. As you can see from the slide, 35% of the SDGs are on track only. 35%. Almost 50%, 47%, already they are delayed. They are moving very, very slowly. And the bad news is around 18% they are going backward since 2015. Okay? So this means there is something wrong. And this means that we need to do something, maybe we need to change something in order to go forward. Now, I will not just give bad news today. I will do my best to provide also with good news. Now, the total mortality of young children already decreased, which is amazing. The safety culture net for more than 50% of the world population progressed. So we are progressing. So this is the good news. So we need to see what are the gaps that exist, and we try to close them. Maybe the SDGs are a very good thing to work on, but maybe we just need to change the way that we deal with them. So here on the slide, you can see some statistics that I got them from very recent publications for the United Nations and other resources. And the annual SDGs financing gap was around, or now it's around $4 trillion per year. What does that mean? That means that developing countries, they need additional $4 trillion per year in order to cope with the requirements of the SDGs. Okay? Now, if we look at how much the developing countries are getting, there is a decline in the last 5 years by 7.1%. So we are slow. The developing countries are getting less money right now. So there is an issue. But to be honest with you, the gap or the issue is not about having money. There is money. But the problem is that we are moving slow and the money is not going to the right countries. Now, another thing that the developing countries are facing is the debt that it's building on them over years. So they are getting money to do investment in their countries and build green jobs, build green energy. But unfortunately, because of the not proper full flows of the money, the countries are having debt. And as per the slide, there is around $1.4 trillion per year on developing countries only from debt of the money that they got in order to build a better future for them. So in that case, we need to understand that we have the money, as we said, but we are not managing it well. It's not going to the right countries. So this is the problem, what to do. Now, when we think about capitals, we always think about money, how much money we have. But to be honest with you, there are other things that are equally important as money. And I have listed them here in 6 main pillars. I have highlighted 2 of them because this is the thing that I understand. This is what is my field, this is my expertise. It's about nature, it's about human. And I believe that those 2 pillars are underestimated. And because of the underestimation of those two pillars, we are having the problems that we have currently. So money is important. The machines are important. But also the knowledge of the people important, the health of the people is important, the nature, the air quality is important. I spent around 20 years in my career just doing research of things that considered to be the most ignored things that people care about. For example, the air that we breathe in order to live a healthy life, the heat that our body can sustain, the safety at the workplace. So unfortunately, those points are underestimated and they are impacting the progress of SDGs adversely and too much. So let's agree that natural and human factors today considered to be a very important pillar in order to go forward in the progression of our communities and also in our countries. So how the health and nature is related and how it impacts the SDGs? I believe in numbers. Numbers will never lie to us. So as per the very recent statistics, around 546,000 people are dying every year because of the heat-related issues. So it's like around 1 human being per minute. So how much loss does this represent to the humanity? And this is not only related to health. Also, if you want to translate it to numbers and economy, so this for sure will reflect on the workforce. So as per the statistics, around $1 trillion in labor productivity lost because of heat in 2024. So really about 1% of the global GDP. It's a big amount, right? Around 640 billion labor hours also lost in 2024. So, and most of the problems, and 84% of the recent heat waves days will not be occurred without the human-caused climate change. So the end point here that the climate change and adverse impact on the environment is impacting the SDGs very adversely and also impacting the economy. So what is the solution? As environment health specialist, I believe that we need to believe in environmental health because it is considered to be a pillar for resilience. Again, according to my research that related to indoor air quality or air quality in general, like even the heat stress, workplace hazards, it's all reflect about the importance of taking care about the health and also the nature. This is very, very important. And by supporting these two things, we ensure that we support most of the SDGs, and here we are specifically talking about SDG 3 and SDG 11. So, what is the money then? Okay, do we have money? Is the money is running? Yes, there is money and the money is running. And if we see the statistics, like last year, there was a global sustainable finance market reached up to 13.4 USD trillions in their investment in clean energy and also other sustainable type of investment. This year, it reached about 15 trillion, and it's expected to reach up to 26 or 27 trillion in 5 years. So this gives us a very important indication that things are going forward in a very good way on getting the money. But again, why we are still having some hesitations or with some problems or issues with the SDGs? So again, it means that we are controlling the money in an inappropriate way. So it's not reaching the countries that they need to reach to. So very good example for the investment in the sustainable future is the clean energy. And again, let's go to statistics. Over years, as you can see from the slide, there is a growing in the clean energy investment. So in the green, you can see the investments in clean energy, and here include like renewable energy like solar, wind, clean energy, like as Canada announced the nuclear energy as clean energy, so clean energy as a nuclear. So those are considered now to be like the majority of investment, and it's double the fossil fuel investment, which is also can reflect how the sustainable and sustainability thinking of investment is going forward. But we need to also to keep in mind that we may reach in a few years that we have electricity, but we don't have enough grids for this electricity. So this is a new bottleneck problem that we need from now to work on it. I'm very proud to share with you what is UAE is doing when it comes to the sustainability. Why the UAE? Because according to the very recent report of the United Nations on the progress of the countries, the UAE got around 10 plus points since 2015. Now those points represent something. And I believe that we always need to learn from each other experience and try to implement what it cope with other situation. So for example, in the UAE, they have provided and they came up with many initiatives that supported the SDGs. So at national level, for example, they came up with, as you can see, the Circular Economy Policy 2021 to 2031. So they made a national policy for the circular economy. And I believe my colleague, Dr. Abdullah, today will share with you the region and also Sultanate Oman experience in the circular economy and how this really impacts the sustainability in a great way. They have a net zero by 2050 initiative, and the UAE, by the way, the first country in the region that came up with this strategy and this initiative. So having some examples like the UAE and other countries in the region could also give us an inspiration for all the other countries to see how to come up with initiatives, local initiatives that it's really related to the resources that you have in the country, the way that you think and the way that you lead things. This will inspire you how to go toward strategies. So working on national committees considered to be very important thing to start with. So the work in the UAE is going forward. Maybe Masdar, any one of you heard about Masdar before? Masdar city, it's the clean city. It's around 99% of it like totally clean. It's zero carbon. Everything there is running on clean and renewable energy. This is considered to be a very good example to share with you today. So, for example, it started in 2021, where it's producing around 20 gigawatts, and now in almost 51, and in the coming 5 to 7 years, expected to reach up to 100 gigawatts. So I really advise you to have a look about, or if you didn't hear about Masdar, it's a very good example to inspire everyone. Okay. So what to do then with the SDGs? Again, 17 SDGs. So maybe when we see the 17 SDGs, we start thinking, okay, let's work on each SDG or requirement or goal by itself. But it seems that in the last 10 years past, this is not the best way to do it. So why we don't come up with more ideas to make it more easy to understand and to address those goals? Why we don't join them as a strategy? Okay, because when we join them as a strategy, we can get a benefit of them. The idea I wanted to go out of this speech by something, okay? Because when we see the SDGs, we see it as like a checklist that we are having a good intention, we did this and that. No, I believe that the SDGs need to be something else. SDGs could be a map for building wealth and building wealth that will sustain. This is how I really want to see the SDGs, not a checklist. No, I need it to be a map for all the countries to go forward in order to build a wealth that sustains. So instead of seeing 17 SDGs, let's link the energy and the climate together. Because when we introduce, for example, the renewable energy or the clean energy, how much investment will be and what will be the coming out of this investment as a profit? It would be millions and maybe more of dollars. So we need to think about the SDG not only about compliance. No, let's think about it as an economy. Okay, so we can link the food with land system. So you can't just put the food apart from the land. They should be always going together in order to have a food security in any country. Health and human capital. Human capital without health can sustain, right? So it should be together. Cities and infrastructure, finance and partnership. So all those SDGs need to work as clusters, not as individual goals. I will share quickly with you. Last year, my research team, we got 3 utility patents in Germany. It was an idea in the lab. We know that plastic is polluting the environment. Okay, let's find something else that it's not polluting and we can use it for the same purposes. So the idea came in the lab. We tested. We came out with a product. This product was recognized in Europe with 3 utility patents. And according to studies, those kind of research can bring wealth for countries. So around 300 billion to 460 billion in the coming years. This is the market for the green products. So when we think that way, it's not only we are protecting the environment, but again, we are building wealth. And this is what I meant by building wealth that sustain. So we need to collaborate between the research, the investors, the government, in order to come up with ideas that will support our sustainable future. As I'm standing here in Casablanca, Morocco, I have to talk about Africa. And I really want to congratulate Morocco about the great work that they are doing when it comes to the clean energy. So before coming to Morocco, I did some research, and they are doing great when it comes to solar energy, hydrogen, which is really great. That's really great to see these initiatives in Africa. In statistics, like 1 of 5 of every human is living here in Africa, so the population is very high. But the bad news, as you can see, only 2% of the investment is here in Africa. So here there is a gap, again, in the flow of the money. So this is something that also we need to work on. We need to share it with the world in order to have the right flow of money. So what to do? Okay, I believe that again we need not to work in silos. We need to work in systems. Systems should work together. Working in silos, working in each goal itself, it's not something that will take us anymore forward. As I told you, we are starting to going backward. So we need to go from the compliance to the strategy. Don't think about the SDGs again as a checklist. Let's think about the strategy. So as an investor, the sustainability plan should not be something nice to have. It must be in the business plan. And by the way, most of the investors now are doing that. It's not a choice for them anymore. They need to have the sustainability plan in each business plan that they have provided. We need to stop thinking about the outputs. We need to think more about the outcomes. We don't want to think about what will happen just in next quarter. No, let's plan for future generation. What will plan like 10, 50 years from now. So we need to do works on synergies between us, between different type of system, between different type of sectors. And this will lead me to the last slide, which is a call to three main pillars I see in this society: the universities, the private sector, and the academia and the government. So the government alone will not do anything without the private sector and academia. And this is reflect also to all the other parties. So the government will give us policies. It also need to give us some kind of incentives that it can support the private sector, it can support the academy. I told you, we are just only one lab and we came up with ideas that can support the sustainable future. So imagine how many of groups and research groups available, and they are coming with brilliant ideas, but all these ideas are just sitting on a table because there is no investment to support them. So we need to have great support. And here, from this stage, I'm calling everyone that if there is any possibility that we work like over borders together in order to come up with solutions. So for example, I will have a solution that it is good for you and you will have a solution that is good for me. So it's very important that we work together in the regions as countries, also all over the globe, with the government and with the private sectors hand in hand in order to go toward a sustainable future. So the last message I want to say today, that when you spend on nature or when you spend on the health of the people, this is not a spending, it is an economy that you are building for a sustainable future. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for giving me the time to speak today.
Shukran, Rahar. You have set this room in fire, and we forgive you for that. En écoutant notre collègue, m'est venue une idée que j'ai eue, pas il y a 10 minutes, mais il y a un certain nombre d'années. Le Club de Rome, comme vous savez, était le premier coup de canon sur la préoccupation environnementale, développement durable, changement climatique, en 68. Le Club de Rome a été fondé. Le premier rapport, 72, corrigez-moi, c'était le rapport du couple Meadows au MIT. J'avoue, mais ne le répétez pas, c'est ce qui m'a amené plus tard, moi-même, comme étudiant et comme professeur au MIT, ce rapport-là, parce que comme étudiant, je cherchais un petit boulot pour les fins de mois, et puis j'ai eu l'occasion d'être un petit recherchiste dans cette démarche. Club de Rome a vieilli avec le départ de ses fondateurs, les Page, King et compagnie. Monsieur le directeur général, est-ce qu'on ne pourrait pas, à partir de propos aussi lucides que ceux qu'on vient d'entendre, que ceux que nous entendrons dans quelques minutes, imaginer que le Club de Rome puisse avoir un successeur, peut-être le Club de Casablanca, On sait que le Maroc est un pays phare, non seulement un hub régional, mais it has become an international hub for many of its enlightened initiatives. L'ISCAE se classe en haut de la pyramide des maisons d'enseignement, non seulement au Maroc, mais sur ce continent, et a rejoint un public international qui s'intéresse de plus en plus, non seulement au Maroc, mais à ceux qui font le Maroc. Et je terminerai mon pied boniment. Mon deuxième jour au MIT, le premier c'était de trouver, il faut dormir ailleurs que dans le cimetière, le secrétaire d'un petit bureau, là, me dit, mais il faut lire ça, monsieur, sinon vous ne serez pas heureux ici. How to think at MIT. Moi, je soumets modestement, avec, comme disait Churchill, humble with most reasons to be. How to think at ISCAE. Si vous cherchez des volontaires, et je pense qu'on en a plein ici, pour créer ce club de Casablanca, j'en suis. Merci. Alors, je vais inviter notre savant collègue à prendre le relais, please. Félicitations pour vos mots. That was most thoughtful. Limitez-vous à 3 idées clés parce que moi j'en ai retenu 8. Please.
What is it's for Khaled أيوة هذا بنفس الشيء.
Il y a eu le truc de Tunis à un moment donné, qui a eu la vie assez courte. Nous, il a duré 100 ans.
تسميك شايف؟
Monsieur Maki dit, ah, et on a vu qu'il avait signé pour une autre centenaire.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Prof, for your presentation and talk and welcoming us. And I would like, first of all, before I start, I would like to thank the wonderful city that I never thought that I'm going to visit in my life, Casablanca. And this is, inshallah, I can assure you, this is not the last visit to this place. And actually, I'm already been planning for the next visit. I would like also to thank the organizers of this conference and on the staff, students, potential researcher as well. I would like to thank all of you for attending this international conference. The talk that I'm gonna do today is about the circular economy and sustainability. Before I start, I want to introduce myself. My name is Abdullah Al-Ghazali. I'm from Oman, specifically from a city called Salalah in the south of Oman, and I'm the Associate Professor in Finance and the Assistant Dean of the College of Commerce and Business Administration at Dhafar University. What I would like to say today in this talk, I'm going to talk about the circular economy and sustainability, where this area has been given less attention recently in the recent research, although there is a lot of research has been done in an area which is surrounding it. By the end of this presentation, we're going to find that this is the core of the sustainability, or the core, the most important, the crucial point that we have to start from. Then I added one extra topic, or to just a further topic, on the recent research trend on the circular economy. That will create like an open window for potential researcher collaboration, area that have been thinking about could be developed further and make a research. And what is the future direction of the research in this area? This is very important because we need to start from where our previous scholar has finished or stopped. To start with, The area of the idea of circular economy comes from the idea that the climate change it's been one of the most important topic nowadays recently, and a lot of governments, a lot of international collaboration been doing, a lot of investment has been done in order to reduce the impact of the climate change, which reinforce a lot of companies, governments, either at micro or macro level, to think about, we should sit together to think about something that could reduce the climate change. One of the ideas that we know that if you think about the manufacturing system, they take virgin resources from the earth, they make it, and then we buy it, we use it, and then what we do? Just we throw it away. And then what will happen? If we need something else, we have to take a new resources. So what we are doing basically that we are taking more resources, and that would be on the cost of the upcoming generation. So that's unfair, isn't it? So the idea here is that we need to think about how we could redesign, rethink about what we can do further in order to eliminate those negative consequences. Nowadays, there's a growing responsibilities towards sustainability and natural resources, because the natural resources scarcity, a lot of countries, they are suffering of not having enough resources. Some of them, most of the resources being imported from different countries. That's on one side. Also on the other side, that the awareness of people nowadays, the awareness of people, individuals, companies, communities, even countries, they are working toward they're trying to be environmental friendly. We used to we don't care about whether we use a plastic bag or not, but now to some extent it's by force. If you go to the shop, they will give you that one, and sometimes they will charge you for it, because that bag could be reused, could be reproduced, rather than wasting it. Regarding water, we have a lot of waste in water, so we need to reduce that water waste. We need to build our resources to make it more efficient in a way that we try to circulate it as much as we can, rather than just take it from the earth, produce it, and just keep it in waste. We need to that waste, we need to circulate it again in the economy. That will help a lot. And those things should be addressed, not all, it should work parallel at micro level and macro level, in both levels. All right, so one hand it won't do anything in this area. So what is the circular economy? It's just regenerative of the system, doing this, just try to change the system a little bit in order to reduce waste, to preserve natural capital, also to optimize the value of the things. For example, I heard that some of the companies nowadays, they think about if they are going to sell you furniture, not to sell to you, rent it for you for 10 years. Then after 10 years, you return it back to them. They don't want to use it. Nobody will use it. But what they will do with it, they will recycle it. All right? So those kinds of concepts, it's been starting in the industry, and they try to think about how to implement it in real life. The circular economy is just built on the principle of reducing, reusing, and recycling. This is the most important thing that should be addressed while we are thinking on the recycling. What's the aim of that? We need to extend the life of the natural resources, because instead of just putting in the waste, just we use it again. So the waste, we are using our waste to produce something else that could be benefit others. So this is the idea of the circular economy. Now, why we need to do that? There are so many things that could help or could tell us the benefit of it. And Dr. Lara have just mentioned a lot of things that related to what she said. In addition to that, we need to think about the environment, because circular economy helps to redesign things from the beginning. Because nowadays what we are doing, we try to recycle, to build a new factory that recycle something which already been produced. Okay, and once we recycle it, we might just get benefit of 50% of it. The rest we cannot do anything with it. So it's better to, from the start, to produce something that once it comes to the waste stage, we could recycle it or by 100% or very close to 100%. By doing that, we're going to be very efficient in keeping the optimizing the natural resources. Eco design has been like a lot of manufacturing nowadays. Even though this idea started in the 90s, but a lot of people a lot of companies, they are starting to think about eco design. But let's ask ourselves a question: why it's not being implemented globally? Because it has some challenges, and one of the main challenges is about the financial things. Because most of the companies, they aim to make a profit at the end of the day, and if this one very costly, then they will enter the market and they will be very competitive. Their price will be very high. Nobody will buy their products. They will end up with loss. Even like we are a customer, sometimes we don't care about the quality. If two options being given to you, you will find and you will get the same benefits from two items. You will buy the cheaper one. Sometimes some of us, we don't care about the environment. We do care about money. So they're struggling and thinking about how to reshape the existing manufacturing. But if we think from the beginning that the natural resources that we are going to use, that could be used when it comes to the stage of waste, could be used like over 95%. This is where we could sustain the circular economy, we could sustain it. Because we're going to keep using the same natural resources, all right? So we need just to get, for example, 1,000 tons of minerals, and we're going to keep using it for the next 10 years, instead of getting every year 1,000 tons. So this is the idea of the circular economics, and by doing that, it will help a lot of companies, because they have to think, they have to create ideas, they have to create a new business model, they have to be very innovative, they have to create something new. Those things will be extending the R&D research department within those big companies, and that will help the society, because they can recruit more people to think about the environment. This is one of the important. Also, by doing that, even the corporates, at the corporate level, the companies, they don't need to buy a lot of things from the main source. Now, at the beginning, they will buy from the main source, but later on, they will get the waste and they will recycle it. Okay, so it will minimize the dependence on the main supplier, and using the waste to create the same products. And that will give them some competitive advantage, not to rely on one supplier while they are producing their product. Of course, it requires a lot of thinking about redesigning the product itself. But it costs a lot of money. Are companies willing to do that? If yes, why they should do it? For just environmental friendly? Anyone? Or can we assure that everyone is caring about the environment? If yes, why we write a lot of things about the environment then? This is a question mark that need to be thinking a lot, because if all people thinking about the environment, we don't need if I'm going every day to my work and I know that I have to be in my work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't want anybody to call me at 7:30. Abdullah, where are you? You should be in your office, because they get used to that. No, I'm get used to it. But you need to remind someone who might not stand in a stage where he's committed to do that. So by doing the environmental things, there's another thing that we need to think about. What is the advantage? There is a lot of advantage about circular economies from the economic point of view, from the society, and from the environmental things. From the economic point of view, the organization will be resilient. As I gave you the example just 1 minute ago, the organization, for example, will not depend 100% on the main supplier, so it can use the waste, all right, to reproduce things. So this is what lower the cost, because the cost of waste much cheaper than the cost of the virgin resources. That also, when we use the waste to reproduce the same product or similar product, that will improve the sustainability of the performance of the company. And definitely the digitalization, it's a very important nowadays, because you know that if you are traveling, we used to have like the boarding pass. Now it's an electronic one. Why? To avoid, because nobody care about collecting it and recycling it. The cost of collecting it and collecting it is much more expensive than the cost of producing the new one. So it's better just to make the noise. That's why we have to use the digitalization nowadays. Companies should think about which area that could be digitalized in order to reduce the negative consequences that might affect the environment. Also, once we have the circular economy, we need to think about since we're gonna use the waste, we have to create a new factory or whatever that will create more jobs to people, and enabling companies or even government at government level sometimes to create or to share their ideas, their models. From the environmental point of view, we're gonna taking less virgin resources, so we preserve those virgin resources to the future generation, and we are using the resources more efficiently, and of course lowering the pollution and the waste. A lot of people saying that if we have gone through the literature, I found that saying that circular economy, it's been like taking the attention since 1976. Other studies saying that no, it's from 1990s. But when we read this statement, we know that in the principle of Islam itself, it encourages all of us to take care about the environment, to take care about people, to take care about everything. So this is not a new concept, although the research in this area is just still emerging, but it's not a new concept. Even in the Holy Quran, it says that about avoiding waste. O children of Adam, dress properly when you are at the worship, eat and drink, but do not waste. Also, there's another verse in the Surah Al-Hud, says that He's the one who produced you from the earth and settled you in it. So it means that you're going to be responsible for it. You have to care about it. We have to take care about the earth in terms of everything. Also, there's another verse in Surah Al-A'raf says that do not separate corruptions in the land after it has been set in order. So what we are doing nowadays, unfortunately we are taking and just, this area is a very hot topic. I believe that it's going to be a very hot topic over the next 5 to 10 years, because remember that it was been talking about the corporate social responsibilities, then ESG. All right, there's a lot of studies now about both things. But when we come about circular economy, it covers everything, isn't it? That's why I'm trying to share with you about what is the research in this area. I come across a very good paper published recently in the Journal of Cleaner and Responsible Consumption, Elsevier Q1, very good journal. It shows that the number of publications in the area of circular economy for the last 40 years, and showing the number of publications being growing in the last 5 to 6 years. And most of those, this is by country, most of the research in this area was conducted by US. But recently, you will see the red line is China. So China now producing a lot of papers, a lot of publications, a lot of articles in this area. But still United States become number 2. We have Italy, we have Germany, China, and United Kingdom. Only those countries, not only all of them, but the majority of the publication in this area being done in these countries. What about the number of citations? Very important. Most of the citations in this area has been done by Italy, the United Kingdom, right, the Netherlands, the US, and the rest. And this is the number of citations. This gives you indication about this area of research. It's really promising. And for new research or current PhD students, you might be able to incorporate some of those ideas as a moderator in your study or as a variable to capture what is the impact of using circular economy on so many things, which I will come to it at the end of the presentation. Here, what about the collaborations between the authors? Most of the authors come from the United States and China. But the good thing that I can say Iraq, Tunisia, Morocco, and Saudi Arabia. So still we have even in the Middle East, North Africa, we do have a lot, at least some attention in this area. So that will open a window for all of us to think about, okay then, we know that circular economy is very important. We need to address it. All right, so from the academia point of view, what we should do? We should think about a research that could collaborate, contribute to the existing studies. So, although that we need to think about AI and circular economy, how AI could help in circular economy. There's not much evidence in this area in the recent literature. This is one area that could be thought of. Another things that to what extent firms use the AI to reduce the waste or to maintain the circular economy and sustainability. Yeah, a lot of companies using AI to reduce the cost. But is it on the sustainability? Is it on circular economy? It's a question mark. No study has been done. No, I haven't come across any study that consider this idea. Also, we need to think about the micro level. So once we think about the micro level, we need to think about how to understand the practice of the circular economy at the firm's level, and to what extent companies could adopt to this concept, And if you plan to use this one, I recommend that using these two theories to build your hypothesis, the dynamic capabilities theory and the resource-based theory. Those two theories could help you to build a very good argument, theoretically grounded, that could produce a very good hypothesis, and later on you could test it. Also, there's an area of research that we know that the sustainability outcomes mainly depends. We know that it depends on ESG, it depends on the corporate social responsibilities, but there's another argument saying that no, it depends on the circular economy. But there's less evidence in the literature in this area. And one important thing, if you want to test the ESG, for example, or corporate social responsibility, it's very easy to find a proxy for it or a variable that could be tested. But which variable that you're going to use in order to test the circular economy? It's very important. So an index or a variable that should be created, that scholars could use it to study this, the impact of it on the at country level or at micro level. Also, I haven't come across any studies. All right. I haven't come across any study that studied to what extent the governments strategically try to promote circular economy, for example, through tax incentive, through reducing the financing cost, or any other alternatives option that could be encouraged companies to use or to implement the circular economy. The last point that I come up with if someone could think about the cost and benefit to implement circular economy at the corporate level, at companies, it might be very costly, and that's why most of the companies quite resistant to adopt to this area. So that might be another area of research or area of study that could be done or carried out. That's all of my presentation. I hope that I shed a light on the circular economy, and I would like to thank all of you again for your attention and the organizer of this conference. And thank you, Prof.
Je suis convaincu que non seulement l'économie circulaire fait réfléchir nos amis, peut-être qu'il y a des idées qui vont circuler maintenant. Alors, j'inviterai peut-être le premier intervenant à nous faire part de ses réflexions et questions, commentaires, s'il vous plaît. Rappelez-moi votre nom.
Bonjour, alors c'est Diane Sana, je suis doctorante en première année au cycle doctoral de l'ISCAE. Donc en fait ma question c'est par rapport à l'intelligence artificielle, donc vous avez clôturé par les potentielles recherches, donc les futures recherches. Et en fait vous avez dit que l'IA peut impacter positivement l'économie circulaire. Ma question c'est par rapport justement à l'IA en tant que consommatrice de ressources naturelles. Bon, c'est très bien que l'intelligence artificielle, avec tous ses points positifs, et peut influencer négativement les ressources naturelles. Donc, comment une organisation peut concilier justement le fait d'utiliser l'IA pour améliorer, pour soutenir les initiatives de l'économie circulaire, et en même temps ne pas impacter gravement
AI support circular economy, trying to avoid negative impacts.
You understand English?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I will need it to unbelievable again. It's a very good question. To some extent, yes, because using AI nowadays could help companies to avoid ordering or getting extra resources. Reducing, for example, the paperwork, reducing using the offices more times because it's just AI. No need to open the ACs, electricity, all of those such things. While people they are sitting in their office, they will use, for example, food. They will eat something. They will drink water, which is a plastic. Then it needs to be recycled again. So all of those could be reduced. The question here: are companies putting that on their top priority or not? This is the main question. I don't think that so far until now the priorities of the companies to put circular economy in the high level. They use AI to reduce the cost, but they don't care much about the cost of circular economy because in their budget they know that the resources that they're getting, this is the cost of the resources, this is the cost of the production, this is the expected revenue. So yeah, I think we need to do it. But we need to think, I do agree with you, we need to think about further step, how to implement AI specifically to reduce the waste and to enhance the circular economy, and that will be very good research if you think about it.
I may add here also something.
So thank you very much. Very important question, and thank you, Doctor, for raising this. So AI now it's doing great in circular economy, and one of the things that now companies can do everything by the AI from A to Z in a prediction mode to see during the whole way of production what would be the type of waste product that I produced and how it would be recycled or reused. So before you even start producing any kind of material, the AI will do the job for you to tell you from day number one what will be the input and at the end what will be the output. And if there is any waste, then it will rethink itself how to find a way to use it in other things, which made it like a great impact for us. So this is like being proactive than just reactive.
Shukran. Et c'est un excellent sujet pour une thèse de doctorat. Est-ce que c'est votre thèse?
Non, mais je suis aussi sur l'IA, donc ça m'intéresse.
Okay, for those who would be inclined to be innovative in their research, that's a perfect topic that was raised here. C'est un très bon sujet.
Bonjour, Robert Zaraouli, doctoral researcher in ISCAE. So I have three questions. One for the lady, the second about circular economy, and the third for you three. So the first, in the context of limited financial, institutional and managerial resources, what criteria should guide the prioritization of the 6 capitals you said before? More especially, should natural and human capital be treated as strategic priorities before financial, monetary, intellectual, and social capital? And about circular economy, you know that circular economy practice such as eco-design, resource recovery, and closed-loop system require firm to redesign products, restructure production system, and develop capabilities beyond routine operational efficiency. In this context, how can companies, especially in developing countries, move from simple environmental compliance to a real circular business model? So the third question is, to what extent can current global warming truly be attributed solely to human activities, given that the Earth climate historically shows natural cycle of warming and cooling that long predate the industrial era? And given that, ISCAE confirmed this past limit variation. In this regard, could the story of Noah's Ark, you know it, also be interpreted as an instant illustration of major climate or environmental destruction? So will it not be more relevant to distinguish between the share resulting from the Earth's natural cycle and the additional share linked to industrial emissions in order to avoid excessive...
4 hours. Give them a chance to answer the first 10 questions.
Thank you very much for the question. And I will go with the question number 1, which is more about the capitals and for the countries that they are facing financial constraints, let's say. So as I mentioned in the presentation, so when we think about the value and economy, the first thing that comes to our mind is the money, right? So, but as I discussed, there are many things that we need also to consider as capitals if we want to think about sustainable future. And as you mentioned, we said the nature and also the human capital or humans. So let's start by humans. So if we think about the health impacts only that are impacting the human and the bills that the governments are paying just to overcome the high expensive bills for the unhealthy communities are millions and billions of dollars. So instead of paying these bills for health issues, why we don't just convert them to capital that we can build our countries with? So how we can do that? Simply by just being more committed to our environment, to ensure that we are practicing a sustainable living process in every day. So we need to push ourselves forward to take care about the nature, to take care about the human health. In that case, we can consider these 2 pillars as a capital that we can use it for our sustainable future for us and also for the upcoming generations. So paying bills for health, paying bills to overcome all the adverse impact of environment, like not only global change, like global warming, we are having many other issues. As you said, the air quality issue and many other things. So by doing that, I think we can enhance the amount of capital we have, including the money.
Shukran.
The question you asked is very critical. The idea is that, companies sometimes they will not be able to invest a huge amount of money on redesigning their products, while their products is already been accepted by the market. That will cost them a lot of money, and they will not be able, for example, to sell their products higher price. That additional cost to them. That's why the future research agenda, I put an idea about what is the role of the government. The government should be having a role on encouraging companies to do so by means of reducing, for example, the finance cost, put like a tax incentive for them. For example, if you think about the green finance, there's a lot of green finance bonds nowadays, okay? Green finance stocks, green finance in the bank. Sometimes if you want to borrow money in the bank and your business is under the area of green finance, you will get. So those types of incentives that will encourage companies to adopt to the circular economy. That's for the existing one. For the new one, we need also to think about an idea that could encourage them from the scratch when they think about ideas and they think about implementation. Circular economy has to be in their minds from A to Z. And that's another
thought that should be given in this area, which I think about, it's an area of research that could be like elaborated more and could attract a lot of researchers to come up with ideas in such area. Thank you.
Shukran. En écoutant while listening to you, it came to my mind, some years back, we were part of a group that we were petting for the development of software in the budgetary, economic stuff. And the only government among about 20 that we've approached that has said yes was the Ministry of Finance from Morocco, and now the tool is just about ready. A group of us have developed some softwares for accountants on green budgeting. We're on the verge of getting these softwares adopted as the mandatory softwares for green budgeting by the World Bank, for instance. And this is all developed by a team of young IT experts here from Casablanca. Actually, we're going to have to see them tomorrow, so where we're at. So I just happened to peddle this project. Yeah. Autre question, madame? Votre micro est bien.
On va le chercher.
L'information, c'est le pouvoir. Merci. Très, très intéressante question. Soit dit en passant, you're not leaving after lunch, are you? You're here for...
Yeah.
Vous pouvez toujours les intercepter qui dans le corridor, enfin bref. Ça veut pas dire qu'il y a une heure de tombée pour la rencontre, qu'il y a une heure de tombée pour la réflexion. Vous pouvez toujours continuer à les harceler. Do you mind to run after you?
Please,
Okay.
be more than happy to exchange ideas. Please.
S'il vous plaît.
Hello, thank you first for the amazing presentation about on circular economy and on rethinking SDGs. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Nouveaux. I am professional in circular economy and I study here in ISCAE in the Master of Sustainable Development and CSR. And actually, about the presentation of Dr. Rahaf, I had like a question that it has been always haunting me, but it was very, very strong here. It's related to policy and international policy. Well, if there is like a political party who is like governing a country who doesn't believe in those issues, like green energy, circularity, and SDGs in general. And this kind of country like have an impact in the world and in how decision making are made. How can we, as a researcher, as academics, can we do like a push point on that? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. First of all, this is a very important question and very critical, to be honest with you. So being in a situation that we can't find the support or let's say belief in such important thing, it's really something really challenging, and as an academic I can hear how it's really harsh to find a way to overcome this. Now, as I mentioned in the presentation, if we want to go towards sustainable future, us as academy people will not be able to do it by ourselves. We need the support of the government and we need the support of the private sector also, right? Now, having a private sector, if we are having issues like our problem approaching the government, maybe we can start with the private sector to start with type of, let's say, memorandum of understanding to have like a win-win situation, because when you want to approach a private sector, you want to show them that there is something that will be given to them, because by the end of the day, they care about their profit, to be honest, right? So in that case, maybe we can approach them with ideas that it can
give them some advantages, some win to them, so we can take them to our side. So having the private sectors with us, with the academia, it can make us maybe more strong when we approach the government. Because even when it comes to funds, by the way, I recently applied for a fund, and one of the requirements was to have someone from the industry or private sector. So we, as academic, we would be more stronger when we put hands in hand with the private sector. So the government will believe in us more. So this is maybe something that can help them to attract the attention of government that, hey, we have support of the private sector. So this is one thing. And also I believe there is a very important part and pillar, which are the community. So we need to buy the commitment of the community and support of the community in our belief that we need a sustainable future. We are working for you. So in order to have a better life for the future generation, we need your support. So awareness is very important. So when we get the private sector, when we get the community also attention and awareness, I think we will be able to convince the government. What do you think?
It came up to my mind, listening to you and listening to the title of this gathering here. Having been a government official, a private promoter, entrepreneur, are we in the stick or the carrot business? Integrated thinking leads to critical thinking. Critical thinking that doesn't lead to strategic thinking. Strategy means the ordering of means. No vision, no means. Where do we start? Here we are, academics. We have some legitimacy, credibility of the building in those topics. We could open up the windows so private sector can be there. Some government officials were sitting here at one point. We have to, if we had to get together, would we invite a private sector or a government officials at this table here to push forward those very critical strategic agendas? Thank you. Sorry, those topics.
Regarding your question, it's very interesting. Just I will add one statement. It's a research question. If I were you, I'll just do it a research by means of conduct a survey, focus group, interview, and definitely you will find the results and we will publish your work.
Ok, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Donc, nous arrivons à la fin de cette plénière. Comme a dit professeur Cloutier, le débat est passionnant. Donc, je vous invite vivement à continuer à discuter avec nos intervenants et à être à l'aise pour poser des problématiques et pourquoi pas des questions sur lesquelles ils peuvent vous aider. Donc, sans plus tarder, j'appelle professeur Melki pour remettre les attestations de Keynote Speakers à nos intervenants. Donc, professeur Gilles Cloutier.
Non mérité, mais accepté avec humilité. Merci.
Professeur,
Allez-y. Professeur Abdullah.
Les écrits restent.
Thank you very much.
Photo de famille est demandée.
Oui.
j'ai professeur l'Essami.
Adi. Esmi. Mais on veut la famille. La famille, il y a. On a un petit côté italien, famille italienne.
De tous les participants, non?
C'est pas parti là. Peut-être sur l'occasion, on pourrait faire un photo de famille.
C'est ça, on peut faire.
Bien sûr.